I want to start off saying congratulations to Trey Palmer. He made second team All Big Ten AP Associate Press. He was I'm not gonna call him a 1 year. Well, you can call him a 1 year wonder for Nebraska. He only was here 1 year. Now the thing about it, he came from LSU, so he was a portal guy. Now the thing I looked up today, I seen in the news is who got the most players coming out the portal. It's a long list. So I'm gonna go ahead and break it down to you. So starting off, the number one team that's got more players in the tournament is not even really a big name school. Who you think it is, Bob?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of somebody. Maybe somebody that's lost their coach recently.
Well, it's two of them that's not really big Power 5 teams. They're Power 5 teams, but they're not the big teams. I don't know. Louisiana Tech.
Oh, okay.
18 players.
That's a lot of players.
Colorado State. 17 players.
Not good for Jay Norvell, former Nebraska.
Texas A&M. 16 players. Arkansas. 15 players. Kent State. 14 players. Okie State. 13 players. Oregon. 13. Maryland. 12. Virginia Tech. 12. Washington State. 12. Now Nebraska. 12. Alabama. 11. And Jackson State. 11. So if you add these up, these are already over 100 and some kids in the portal, and this is just
handful of school. Yeah.
So you got to understand, like this portal thing is crazy. I mean, I'm old school, so I say like this: once you transfer, you sit out a year. No immediate play. You have to sit out. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove yourself academic wise. You got to prove yourself to that team. That's the thing about this portal is that you can go get anybody at any time, and they can come in to be an instant starter. So what about the guy that been here 3 years, that's been trying to get that position for 3 years, and all of a sudden one guy comes in and takes his spot?
Yeah, it's a different college football world, certainly. And you're seeing it like the tampering thing that's kind of going on as well. Drake May having to come out and say he's staying at North Carolina. Braylon Allen's had to deal with several reports reporting him leaving, and he goes back on Twitter and says, I'm the source.
Yeah.
My sources are me, and I'm not transferring. So it's kind of funny to see that. And then, again, I know it's going on everywhere, so I don't want to narrow in on Iowa or anything, but Cade McNamara didn't even test out. When you hit the portal, a lot of guys hit the portal so they can kind of test out the NIL market, see who's going to bid on them, or just kind of what opportunities open up. Cade McNamara is like, no, I'm transferring from Michigan right to Iowa.
Maybe he watched that Black Friday game and say, oh, they need a quarterback. I'm gone. I'm out of there. So I got some other news. Now, I was checking online, and this is kind of amazing to me. Oklahoma State strength and conditioning coach Rob Glass is the first $1 million strength and conditioning coach. Man, that's a lot of money just to have some guys lift weights.
That is a lot of money.
I think I'm going to go into that.
You're going to start, I think you have to, I don't know.
I don't know.
You're going to be
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money right there.
That is. Nebraska, I mean, that was money well spent. If you look at Nebraska over the last several years, they could have used that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, now
if he turns into results.
Now you got this Conan the Barbarian looking guy who we got. I don't know who his name, but he's a big
Corey
guy.
Campbell.
I seen him, and they say he's a short guy.
Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, the short guys always got a better frame than the bigger guys, except Rico.
Calling out Rico.
He not even looking at us.
He don't listen.
But that's another thing. So, it's the strength and conditioning coach making $1 million, highest paid strength and conditioning coach to this day. Trey Palmer, second team, all Big Ten. Congratulations to him on offense. Only guy we got on offense to make it. I haven't seen the defensive part. Portal's jumping. Deion's jumping. Tickets probably going to be crazy for that game. So if we can go ahead and put our hold on tickets right now, I need to put mine on hold.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm going to go down. I want to go to Boulder.
I want to, but you better get those tickets early. I've seen all the prices already.
Well,
it's going to get even higher.
Well, they probably get Nebraska. How many they fit in Colorado Stadium?
I think about 50-some thousand. I'll look it up.
So that's probably going to get Nebraska 10,000 tickets.
Yeah, but then Nebraska usually buys a bunch of them. But because it's Deion's first
we
game,
probably get 5,000 tickets.
Yeah, because it's Deion's first game, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, 50. The capacity is 50,183. In Nebraska, last time we went up there, obviously the whole stadium was red. But and that was, by the way, if you looked at it that year, just go on StubHub or Ticketmaster or whatever, those tickets were like, I don't remember what it was, $250, whatever it was. And every other ticket on like their home games was like, $23. You can come right in.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
by the way, Corey Campbell, the strength and conditioning coach, I know how to get you to like him a little bit. Former Georgia Bulldog, actually.
I'm trying to see what year was he there.
Yeah, he's a captain. I remember somewhat him playing. I'll have to look it up. I think it was early 2000s.
So they got a freshman that starts at Georgia. I think his name Markel Williams or something. Mm-hmm. He's from my hometown.
Okay.
So we got like 4 guys from my hometown that goes to UGA. Once again, my classmate from high school, he graduated with my brother 2 years older than me. He's the running back coach at Georgia. He's the best recruit in the nation for the last 2-3 years. Ooh. So, congratulations to him on that. Congratulations to the whole UGA team. Now, my thing is that they had this article that I was reading that they said that is Georgia the new dynasty of college football?
Well, they better win back-to-back titles first.
Say they win 3.
Well, yeah, then the dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, that's be the first team that ever does that in college football.
And the crazy thing, too, is that a few years ago, I've been a Georgia fan a long time too. I don't know why. I just picked them the SEC team. I like Uga. So I've been cheering for them for a long time. A few years ago, remember they're about as close as anybody. They went to overtime with Alabama.
Yeah.
And then Devontae Smith, before he won his Heisman years before, had that game-winning touchdown. But that was like on 3rd and long, like real long.
Yeah.
And so it was looking good for Georgia. And it's so the dynasty talk. It's. If they would have won that one, obviously they'd already kind of be there. But it could be, but they're not. You wonder too if they're not too overwhelming, and how many dynasties last from quarterback to quarterback, because they're gonna as much as we may not be overly impressed with Stetson Bennett. If he wins 2, I mean they're gonna have to find somebody else to win a 3rd. So
well, that's I don't know if he's a quarterback, but. Is he? I don't know about Stetson Bennett. He's a good, a role player for that team. I mean, he's not flashy. He's not a runner. He does nothing that great, but he gets the ball where it needs to be. He commands the offense and gets them down the field. He has them winning. So that's the pedigree you need. Now, John from Lincoln, he asked us, "Hey, Black Shirt and Bach, have you guys heard anything about Casey Thompson being hurt? Did he hurt his shoulder?" Well, I don't. He should still be hurt from the season. I guarantee you that. He still got some bumps and bruises. Only 2 weeks from the season was removed. So I guess it's gonna take him a couple of months to get his body back healed right. Just to even lift weights like he probably could lift weights, but he's not gonna be fully healed to probably January.
Yeah, well, I think he's got a decision to make. Obviously, if he's going to come back to Nebraska, and then I believe. I don't want to credit the source here because this is definitely not my own information. But I believe that he has a decision to make on a surgery as well. So if he goes through with that, he might miss some of spring ball. Yeah, I mean, he got beat up, and there's a lot of guys, a lot of players kind of put in that position. You can kind of get a corrective surgery or try to play through it. So we'll kind of see where he goes, but. If you take him, I think we all feel okay about Matt Rule taking over, and we'll kind of see. And again, we talked about the expectations last year. I think minimal expectations at Nebraska any year is going to be to get to a bowl game. You're not going to lower your expectations lower than that. With Casey Thompson, I feel pretty good about that. Without him, I don't. And then perhaps you hit the portal, you find a quarterback that makes you, kind of regains that interest if he decides to go ahead and go to the NFL or whatever he wants to do next. So you'd at least have a few weeks where you don't feel too great about the direction. And that's understandable. It's your quarterback. But, Casey Thompson's not like all league type of player. He is very solid, kind of had his ups and downs, but clearly when you saw him leave the field for Nebraska, they just didn't have a backup. So I think that's also got to be on the top list of Matt Rule's priorities. Because Casey Thompson, I mean, this offensive line, and they've got a big time offensive line recruit in town this weekend. But you've got to prepare. Nebraska's got to have a few guys that are ready to play in the game, not projects. And we'll see how they get here in a few years. And we got some younger guys. So I'm interested in what they do in the portal altogether, because it was, and it's nothing against the backups, but it is what it is. They couldn't muster together more than 14 points.
Yes.
While they were out there.
My thing is, do you wait for them, or do you try to get somebody else in? I mean, I know we need backups. I mean, we got a young guy, the guy from high school. What's his name? Torres. Is he going to be ready? Is Pretty going to stay here? Is Chubba's going to stay? I mean, is the other guy? What's
Logan Smothers?
Logan Smothers going to stay here. The thing about this is what has me curious right now, that if I'm a coach, I want to know what you're going to do, Casey. I want to know if you're here, if you're in, or you're not. That's what I want to know. I mean, I can't wait for you to January. Then if I have to wait to January, I got to wait and then I got to rush and go get somebody that I don't want.
Well, and you're behind the recruiting game. I mean, there's a lot of transfer portal quarterbacks right now that are starters that are in the transfer portal, like Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State, plenty of them out
Kentucky's
there. JT
quarterback
Daniels
going to the NFL.
Yeah, Will Levis is going to the NFL. Looks like could be that Graham Mertz expected to transfer to Kentucky, so maybe he's found his landing spot there. And that would be interesting for Kentucky, because Will Levis coming from Penn State, so Kentucky's just going to apparently take over leftover Big Ten quarterbacks. But they did good with the first one.